Welcome inside the ACU TV or studio for this week's Optimist Newscast. I'm Sydney Varner alongside Paige Taylor. Freshman students began their time at ACU participating in the annual tradition Wildcat Week. Allie Jones gives us a deeper look into this year's introduction for new students to the campus community.
The cheers of Wildcat Week leaders heard along campus court mark new beginnings and kick off Wildcat Week for incoming freshmen. Move-in Day is the first of many events for these new students during the week before their first classes. This year we saw the return of many pre-COVID traditions to the Wildcat Week roster. Early in the week, the students were able to visit Abilene Acts, explore downtown coffee shops and boutiques, and attend a special screening at the Paramount Theater. On campus, students got to know their future classmates in Mentor Group Olympics. Nathaniel Collier, freshman from South Coffeyville, Oklahoma, led his group to a victory in a speed-eating tiebreaker.
I was expecting donuts, and it was beef jerky. Iman just told me to shove as many in, so I went for that. Honestly, starting out in the smaller groups, we've all been pretty close. But yeah, that definitely helped once we got to it, and we all got closer as it got on.
Collier also mentioned how he's excited to see the many perspectives and personalities throughout his class come together.
I think it'll definitely be a lot different than most high schools, because instead of having everybody from an area or a couple from move-ins, it's pretty much all scattered. Like at my dorm, I saw somebody from Maine or Tennessee. But yeah, I think it'll be really cool seeing everybody's different perspectives kind of going together.
Class unity is often one of the many goals of Wildcat Week. R.A. Rennie Finley, a junior from Allen, Texas, had this to say to the incoming freshmen.
Have as much fun as you can, join extracurriculars, get involved, make some friends, and just have the best time you absolutely can, and scratch your cats.
As the campus administration continues to keep a close watch over COVID-19 cases on campus, students and staff alike are hopeful that this year's Wildcat Week is the beginning of a new normal. For The Optimist, I'm Allie Jones reporting.
COVID-19 precautions look a little different this semester than semesters past. With lots of confusion and contradictory feelings, students and staff weigh in about what they think about the changes.
Walking across the ACU campus, for a moment you can almost forget that COVID is still a consistent worry for many Americans. But if you look close enough, you can still see the effects of the pandemic in and outside the classroom. Sophomore Leah Hansen, a graphic design major from Gatesville, Texas, talked about the Department of Art and Design requiring masks for all of their classes.
I think they just felt it was best management policies, especially with the new Delta variant sweeping through. So I think they're just trying to mitigate the process and manage it a little bit easier.
Masks are not required campus-wide, and as a result, many students and staff have taken to no longer wearing them. Matt Maxwell, a resident film director from the Learning Studio, said that a majority of people in the library do not wear masks.
Yeah, so my office is actually in the back of the library on the second floor. And I walk through every day and am very surprised by the lack of masks that I see on students.
While some people are concerned with the lack of regulation on campus, students like Lizzie Sargent, a nutrition major from Austin, Texas, fully support the administration's set regulations.
So I think the way they're going about it is awesome. Especially with the mask mandate. I think it's been cool to see how our campus was so precautious this past year. And though it's not required, we still want to make sure people are comfortable. So if they want to wear masks, they can. And then also if professors are going to require it, just to keep their families safe, I totally understand that.
As much as the campus hopes to move on from COVID, it is hard to ignore how it still affects us.
We're just starting to wear masks again. It was really disappointing having go almost the whole summer without masks, thinking that those days were behind us. And then once school started coming up and this Delta variant was becoming more and more of a big deal, we had to go through our drawers and dust off those old masks or buy new ones.
The fact that students and staff have a choice in the precautions they take might sound idealistic, but it is also reflected in the campus case count. For The Optimist, I'm Allie Jones reporting.
For more information on case numbers, visit acu.edu/coronavirus. The Wildcat volleyball season is getting underway. Stay tuned for the past weekend's tournament recap.
Welcome back inside the ACU TV or studio for a look at this week's sports. I'm Carrie Johnston alongside Connor Mullins. Volleyball has started its season strong by defeating the University of Incarnate Word and UT Arlington this past weekend in the ACU Invitational. Senior outside and right side hitter Lindsay Toney led the team in a double victory after breaking her personal kill record twice. Toney recorded 33 kills against UTA and followed it with 29 kills against UIW. Toney was also awarded one of the WAC's Players of the Week after her performance in the Invitational and now leads the NCAA in kills per set. Redshirt junior setter Madison Rohr also had a personal record with 53 sets against UIW and 59 against UTA. ACU beat UIW 3-2 and the Wildcats beat UTA 3-1, ending the game after 4 sets. This weekend, ACU will square off against Green Bay, the University of New Mexico, and Texas Southern at the Wildcat Classic in the Teague Special Events Center.
ACU prepared for the start of its 100th season of football this past weekend with a preview scrimmage. During the scrimmage, redshirt freshman fullback Reese Stafford received a scholarship, and the Wildcats were able to tune up one last time before their season opener. Going into the scrimmage, head coach Adam Dorrell said the quarterback position spot is still up for grabs between Stone Earl and Peyton Mansell, and other positions are still undecided.
Competition is a coach's best friend, and practices have been really spirited. Guys are showing up with the understanding they got to compete to get playing time. So I think that's what I'm most pleased with right now. So is our coaching staff, just that sense of I got to compete, I got to compete, I got to compete.
SMU recently finalized their own starting quarterback, Oklahoma transfer Tanner Mordecai. Last year, SMU was ranked in the top 25 of the FBS for multiple weeks. Though ACU seems to be the underdog, Stora looks forward to playing where the ACU has a large fan base.
SMU is a great football program. They've done a great job. Obviously, the quarterback's gone on. He plays for the Kansas City Chiefs now, but they're expected to have another really good one. They got a lot of returning pieces, and it's going to be really exciting. We've got a lot of alumni fan base in that DFW area, so we're expecting a really good crowd. And I know for coaches, for a lot of us that are from around here, families are coming in, being able to go to the games. So it's very exciting right now.
The game at SMU will be at 6 p.m. Saturday at Gerald J. Ford Stadium, with the game streaming on ESPN+.
Thank you for tuning in on this week's Optimist Newscast. We'll see you next time.